You know how we get down. Yeah, the way we gon' work it out.
I am Pastor Julius, and this is my lovely wife,
Lady Ashante.
and we got some really good information that we want to share with you guys called Let's Make Marriage Great Again. A discussion is called Let's Make Marriage Great Again. A discussion is called
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Differences of thought.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And then you have to have one of DJ Clue's bombs drop. And then go into it. Yep.
Listen,
Just
y'all,
like that.
We're back for another episode.
Episode. Why do you keep calling them renditions?
Yeah, it's a rendition.
A rendition is when
Is that music? Is that music
yes,
related?
and somebody does a rendition of an original.
We did a little music. We just did. We said welcome back. That was a rendition, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's another one, y'all. We're knee deep into this thing, and we got see that right there. That wasn't right. That's the type of stuff.
I got you. Okay.
You know, that'll land you in the doghouse.
We are talking about part 2 of
happiness and habits.
oh man.
Happiness and habits.
Yeah.
And last week, it was good.
Yeah.
We were talking about, you know, is it good to place the burden
On your mate.
to make you happy? And so I think we came to the conclusion that that's not all the way right.
If y'all are wondering why I'm babysitting this water bottle, I'm sorry, but we had COVID a couple months ago, and the cough won't go away.
Yeah.
So I have to keep, instead of coughing, I just take a sip.
Yeah. So we're talking about this, and really, we came to the conclusion that it ain't really fair for me to put my happiness on you. Meaning, it's not fair for me to say you're totally responsible for this happiness, for my happiness.
Right. I don't think the spouse is totally responsible, but there is some responsibility.
So let's dive into that. Let's dive right into at what point can the spouse no longer say your happiness is not my responsibility? Is it should the spouse ever, or your significant other or whatever, should they ever come to the conclusion to where they're able to say, no, like I absolutely need to be playing a part in making my significant other happy?
Yeah, no, I think it always is that. No, I don't think there's no husband or no wife that can ever take a hands-off approach and be like, baby, you better figure it out. No.
Right.
Absolutely not. Do I think it's solely on them? No. But I also think that you cannot just vacate and say that it has nothing to do with you. Yeah. There's still accountability.
Yeah, no, I love that. And so I think just really trying to walk through and find out at what point, because what I hear you saying is basically like, I can't say, man, my happiness is totally dependent upon Ashante making me.
Yeah, no.
And in return, you can't say your happiness is totally dependent upon you. Like, I have absolutely nothing to do with you being happy.
But what I can say is, hey, your recent behaviors are making me unhappy. Or I can say, hey, I am not happy in this area of our marriage. I think like that is where, again, we talk about communication all the time.
Right.
And how people think that they are effectively communicating. And what I always say is, you know that you have effectively communicated when there is a corresponding action to what you have said. If there's no corresponding action to what you have said, then that communication was not effective.
Well, I mean, I get it, yes, but then there are some times when it's just a conscious decision on the person who you've communicated to.
You have straight rebellion. Yeah, you have people that are like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying when that's not the case, if I tell you, hey, this ain't that no more, and you make the decision to be like, oh, well, right, that's different. But if I say, hey, this isn't that anymore, and nothing changes, it could be maybe I wasn't as effective in my communication to you as I thought I was.
So talking about this happiness and this habit,
yeah,
right? We was chatting before we live, baby.
Before
we went live, and just really like we were talking about, I think it was a post where someone was saying that they were in a relationship and
they was in relation. No, they were married.
They was having relations. I don't know if they was married or not.
They was married,
okay,
and it was her first. She was a virgin when they got married. He had only been with one other person besides her.
Right.
And they were doing the do in their marriage.
Got in their groove sexually.
Yep.
But then she came to a point where she realized she wasn't satisfied.
Physically satisfied anymore.
The first question I would like to find out is how you know what satisfaction is if this Negro was the first one you was with.
See, no.
First of all,
that's not even what the post said.
No, all right, y'all. Now I'm tripping.
The post said that some time had passed.
And how did she know what satisfaction was if that was her?
No, she's saying that she not satisfied anymore. So from the time that I start getting it to now,
it's not doing anything anymore.
That's what that means.
Got it. I understand.
It's kind of like drugs. The first hit of crack cocaine,
it blow your mind,
and you trying to chase it. And
then you out there smoking that.
Okay. Now that, ladies, he never did crack. He never smoked crack. It's a lot of marijuana.
I ain't never did.
Jesus the Christos.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
But no, I think it's the same thing. So I think that she got to a point sexually in their relationship. She was like, man, it ain't hitting like it once was.
Right. I used to twingle. I ain't twingling no more.
My Jesus.
You know what I mean? At one point, I was twingling.
What is a twingle?
I don't know.
A mix between a twerk and a Pringle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, twerk and a Pringle.
All right.
They was twerking and little Pringles. And it's called it ended up being a twingle. But listen, whatever we call it, she realized.
This is why I have my water, y'all. I cannot.
She was not getting what she was once getting. And so she was saying that, I've communicated. I've told him, hey, look,
She said counseling, and then I guess she bought him a book, and his response to her was, you read it and give me the cliff notes.
Now, the reason why habits and happiness plays a part in this is because at one point in time, it seems like she was happy with the sex.
Yes.
The sex life was making her happy. They were happy.
Yep.
But then, however, whatever happened, it turned from happiness into habit.
Ooh.
And so now it just seemed like they were just having sex habitually, and there was no happiness being.
What you just said was so fire, though, because that legit is the death of marriages. Marriages start off happy, and then they become habitual.
Yes.
And people don't know how to get back to happiness. It's like, it's stale. Okay, well, it was new. And so now if it's stale, that means that there is something that has to be done to bring freshness back to it.
And so it's a lot of different ways we can go with this, y'all. And so one of the things I'm thinking about is how do you navigate back to happiness from habit?
Yeah.
One, remember that. How do you navigate back to happiness from habit?
Got it.
Two, is it wise to try to navigate back to what was?
No.
Or should you just venture off into what's
something
next?
New? That's so good. That's it. Because you'll never get that old thing back. Like, let's be clear. We've been married 10 years. I got married at 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even live that freaking life anymore to try to maintain what once was in 2010.
Let me tell y'all something, man, because talking about this sex thing, at one point in time...
Here we go. Now here we go.
Hey, listen,
at one point in time...
I was lighting her up. Listen, after you get about 10
Now
years...
Now let's just talk, because you want to make yourself seem like this hero. Ladies and gentlemen, okay? I was a young tender, about 30 pounds lighter, all right? Okay, you wasn't the only one tearing nothing up, all right?
It was life.
Life was different. It was sex multiple times a day. It was like, it just was what it was. I mean, I was pregnant. It was like, what's up? Because it was just different.
It was.
Now we got 2 kids. Lord, I love my babies, but they are intrusive. We pastor together. We are on businesses together. Like, we do all these things together. We get to the bed now, look at him like,
I'm tired. She tired.
He's in school now. Like, life is hitting different. And what could happen is we be like, man, our marriage is stale.
Right.
Or our marriage is habitual.
Because one aspect is not what it once was.
Man.
And so you got to really, I live by this. A problem undefined is undefeated.
Yeah.
And so if you can't really go in and hone in on what the issue is, then you'll start misdiagnosing the situation and make a permanent decision off of a temporary circumstance.
And that's good. And I think what she almost, I think, got offended at her husband saying, give me the cliff notes. Sis, first of all, men, when it comes to men, most men are not, that's a very touchy subject for men. Their pride is attached to their penis.
Pride is attached to men when it comes to money.
And sex.
And career and sex.
And so you're basically telling him that the sex is whack.
And watch this. The very thing that society and social media and everything is building up, which is men being able to perform sex well, you telling him he's not doing too well in that area. Because let's be clear, these rap songs now, what are the rap songs communicating?
Oh no,
now?
the women have taken charge of that.
What are they saying?
Some stuff that's pretty vulgar.
What? Give me an example.
I don't listen to that stuff. So
oh, she's so holy, my Lord. What are they saying?
Basically, don't know. If you're not hitting it right, go away.
Go away.
Basically.
And so men for years, for centuries, have built up, I get like this hope, this strength in them being able to have good sex with.
Well, let's be clear, because I know for a fact that you and I get into these debates all the time, that society has put men, it's a man's world. Men have created this thing with their sex tool about, you just said it. I was lighting her up, like sex tool. So even that right there, like men have, for me, created this, if the D good, she ain't going nowhere. Like that is a thing that I think that men have created in the patriarchy world of being a man and having a penis. Like that is something that has just been.
Unfortunately.
No. Don't say unfortunately. No, it's no unfortunately. It's, let's say something else.
No.
Because for me, that's unfortunately, that's just the way that it is.
No, unfortunately, there's truth to what you're saying. So what you're saying is that they've been deemed this, I guess,
that sex will keep a woman.
Unfortunately, there's some truth to that. There's a
sex will keep some men. There's some women who have whipped men.
Of course. So it's not a man or a woman.
So
thing.
I'm saying it's not a woman that has. I think men have created this prison, unfortunately, and so now a woman is coming to her husband and saying, "Bro, sexually, I'm not satisfied anymore." First of all, there's no man, especially a husband, that wants to hear that his wife is not sexually satisfied.
And watch this. When that's brought, I think it's thought of on the end of the woman or the wife that he's supposed to immediately jump out of there's no satisfaction mode to fix it and make it right mode. And because that has been something that has been ingrained in the mind of a lot of men that they're supposed to be able to perform sex well.
Yeah.
I believe there's almost like a period of adjustment mentally that a man has to go through before he gets to the point where he got to process
pride.
this.
And what does she mean? And she was a virgin.
Yeah.
I'm the only D she knows.
And it was all good just 6 months ago, and now all of a sudden you're coming to me with all of these different demands and telling me
so the question
that you're not
is,
happy.
Now that it's habitual, is there accountability on him to bring back happiness?
So before we get there, I want to get there. There's some other things to probe though, because what is making you now all of a sudden dissatisfied? Has there been some other exposure? Has there been some other conversation?
Why does it have to be that?
Why are you now?
Why can't it just be I was a virgin and I didn't know? what 6 inches was, nigga. Now that I got 6 inches, it ain't doing nothing no more.
I mean, how do you know what doing something is?
Because I have a vagina, and it's like it is what it is. Like for me,
how do you know what doing something?
What you're doing as a man is that you're operating in pride right now.
Maybe it's
right
pride.
now.
I don't know.
And yes, I was a virgin, but I'm not a virgin anymore, and we don't know what sexually
My bad.
We don't know what he was doing sexually, and maybe she's not climaxing anymore. At the end of the day, hey, I was having an orgasm and now I'm not.
Okay.
Like my thing is like, let's just take the beef of it and let's just deal with that. What happens is that you were just dealing with pride. And it's like, well, why, what, whenever, it don't matter. What matters is I'm not satisfied anymore. We now have to move forward sexually. Me and you as a husband and a wife, we need to sit down. We need to have this conversation because I would like to be sexually satisfied.
Let me give you this example and see if this makes any sense.
All right.
So you want to just eliminate the reason why there's dissatisfaction. And what I want to suggest to you is that to a man, you can't just eliminate the reason why and start trying to deal right into a solution. This is what I'm saying.
What if there is no reason why?
If it has to be. Dissatisfaction has a reason. Nobody's not, why you dissatisfied? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
No. I didn't say I don't know. It could just be something as simple as.
You're intrusive. You're being intrusive right now. You're being intrusive. I let you speak. I acknowledge mine. So watch. So check this out, y'all. So if you grow up eating a certain type of food, or being exposed to something a certain type of way, or whatever it is, you've grown accustomed to that. The way that I've always understood it and learned it, the introduction of something different oftentimes triggers you to realize that there's something more. Like mom cooked this way, she used this seasoning. You go over your friend's crib, they mom cooked this way, you're like, oh snap, that's pretty good right there. Like, what's up? So now you've grown an appetite for something different because you got exposed to something.
So now she got to be getting D on the side or other D in order for her to realize that she's not having an orgasm anymore?
No, what you're doing is what I said is that process between giving the man the information that he's not satisfying her to jumping straight into a solution. What I'm giving you is the things that goes through a man's
No,
mind.
I'm not. You totally didn't hear what I said. I'm not saying at all that we need to now get to fixing it.
But
What I'm
listen.
saying is, no, I'm not.
Yes, you're saying that a man is not supposed to be able to go through this process without it being you feeling attacked or being accusatory.
Sir.
These are just some of the things that a man will think.
What I'm saying is that we can't go backwards and you can't become this investigator onto why I am, as your wife, I'm coming to you and I'm saying, hey, I am not sexually satisfied. Now, what is my responsibility? I have to go into great detail as to why I am not. I do. I have to have a very open, probably uncomfortable, and I've realized this in marriages, is that niggas will be naked and have sex and will not be vulnerable. And so you have to sit down and have a vulnerable conversation. Hey, I don't like when you do circles. I don't like when, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a walkthrough instruction manual to help show the man, not a book.
But you just changed. That's what I said. A man is going through the why. I said dissatisfaction comes with a reason.
Nothing I just said was a why. Everything I said was how do we fix the unhappiness
you
sexually?
Said I don't like circles. That's why. You're not satisfied. Why? Because I don't like circles. So the why is important. So instead of allowing him to go through this whole rabbit trail of why you're not satisfied, what I'm saying is I'm in agreement, but you got to give him that space, because immediately the man is going to, why? For a woman to say, I'm not satisfied, fix it, here go a book. No, ma'am. No. We need to have a conversation. Why? What's up? What's going on?
I'm in agreement with that, but your why immediately went on to she would tasted somebody else's chicken, and that's why she don't like your chicken.
So
no
in order, but I'm helping y'all ladies out there. If you're gonna say that you're not satisfied, don't leave him to get to thinking as to why not.
That you done ate somebody else's chicken.
Yes, don't let him think you went and taken somebody else's chicken. Let him know immediately what's up, so that he don't have to go down. Because I'm telling you, a man is gonna want to know what's up.
Well, a woman would too. If your husband came to you like, "Hey, babe, it don't even get up no more," like, nigga, what? Like, it would be like, why?
Why not?
And that is where this accountability we're talking about. It is absolutely your responsibility to bring something fresh or bring something new into that.
Get some costumes. Get some costumes.
Now, see, now,
do
wait.
some role play. You know what I mean?
If that's what they decide on,
get the lingerie popping. You know what I mean? Start. Talk a little nasty. If you need to, talk a little nasty.
Sir.
Sir. Whatever it is that you need to do, you know what I mean? Do something different.
Can y'all help me, please?
Y'all ain't praying for her.
Can y'all help me?
Right now. Y'all, there's no way y'all praying
What
for
I'm
her.
saying is that I agree with you. I agree that there needs to be an explanation as to what you do not like, but the why for men or women, you just can't jump to no conclusions thinking that somebody didn't eat your chicken. And I think that in the post, she had also said that she was then now getting more pleasure from self-pleasure, which could be a whole issue. There could be a whole issue because they got some dildos out that's 12 inches long and got butterflies at the top with lights and pearls.
Lord Jesus, or that rose.
I've seen that. So here's the thing. Ladies,
hey.
you can't have a 12-inch thing up underneath your bed and you married 8 inches. What do you like? What's up? Like, what you think?
Hey, that rose, I saw that scrolling.
Okay, all right.
That is a dangerous
I'm out.
thing.
I'll see y'all later. I'm out.
That's dangerous, y'all. I'm telling you right now.
And some of the comments were like, what's the point of, and then they put a little attachment on the end, like, so you don't even need a man? And that's what's sad. And so we don't know if her opening up the gate to self-pleasure without her husband, don't know. No, what I'm saying is we don't know if that then opened up a gate to where she like, I could do this myself. I don't even need you.
Moving forward.
What I'm saying is that she obviously was self-pleasuring without him because she said, I am finding more in this than I am with you. And my thing is that is not fair. You cannot tell your husband to read a book and figure it out. That man needs an entire roadmap with little crumbs leading the way to the happy place.
So when things have become habitual, their sex life became habitual. And it ain't just sex, y'all. We're just doing this because it's an interesting topic. People like to hear that. But it could be all types of stuff that could become habitual. And I think the question is we want to go to now is how do you get it back to a place of happiness?
I think you said it before we started filming. It's not getting back to what was because that doesn't exist anymore. Right. It's what's new.
What's new?
What's new? Okay, so boom, you was a virgin when we got married. The sex is now not satisfying you. I can't go back to our marriage night when you were a virgin. Okay, can't go back there. Now we have to visit what's new. Sounds like you didn't brought a rose and you didn't brought that into the equation. So that's new. And we need to have a conversation. What don't you like? Pride cannot enter into those conversations.
So, okay, this is what's new. I'd like to bring somebody else in.
See, I mean...
So what do you do with that? We talking about all this newness.
No. We're gonna get the karma of the sutras, policeman hand. We're gonna do a whole lot of stuff before that conversation enters.
I think to maintain or to get back happy again, you might need to just try different stuff.
And I hate to say back happy, it's new happiness.
Yeah.
Life is dynamic.
A new normal.
Right, which makes marriage dynamic. It makes people dynamic. We are forever changing and evolving. Yeah. Yes, your sex life with your partner, it ain't gonna be the same it was 10 years ago. And it may get better. Y'all may have started off because it was crazy and everybody had a bunch of kids and now the kids might be at the house. Y'all now might be running around the house naked. It may have shifted. Again, I think that it's just, you have to be ready and open to have these conversations. And I'm going to say something else too. Your spouse should know if there are some sexual triggers you have. Was there rape? Was there molestation? Was there abuse? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm not, that doesn't satisfy me anymore. Like, well, if you were crazy promiscuous and had 100 women and now you marry me, the virgin.
Well, not only that, like I was molested as a child. And so I learned at an early age to remove emotion from sex.
Facts.
And so that became a topic of concern in our marriage.
It did.
Because in some instances, I wasn't emotionally
He was like, hey, it's time.
No, I didn't.
That's
what
the exact word was, I need satisfaction. Like a caveman, like, what, bro? You need satisfaction. Who talks like this?
Don't believe that, because there's moments when
that's the way I took it.
Well,
I took it like, that's different. Hormones are raging.
So it gives you the right to
do what?
You
don't have hormones.
But it gives you the right to do what? Approach me in what manner?
A very aggressive way.
I'm saying. And I could be in the middle of just doing something real noble and humble. And then here you come.
Wait, do you see how you position yourself? Like you are just this Saint Mark in the corner.
Listen,
man.
I'm telling right now. I'm telling.
Just
right
know
now,
whatever you tell. Just know whatever you tell. I'm telling.
Y'all, you know how my son King Judah got here? I'm telling.
I'll let him know.
What happened?
I had a whole Brazilian wax, and that's all they need to know.
What was I doing?
Studying the Word of God.
Listen, I was trying to get my life together.
He was trying to lead us spiritually, and let's just say I wanted to
over to the right.
I wanted.
And King,
he said he felt like the Lord was like, man, then go ahead, you got permission.
I felt like God was like, hey, that's a tough one. Go ahead on.
Man, go ahead on, son. You're forgiven. And then King came. And I mean, here we are. So yeah. And what's crazy is we don't live that life anymore. I cannot, I got 2 boys running around. It's hard enough. Like we don't have that anymore. You have to protect against that. And again, you said it, I think in the last episode about being selfish.
Yeah.
We as spouses have a responsibility and an accountability.
To
be selfless. If you come to me and you say, hey, babe, I don't like turnips anymore. It is not, I cannot be upset. Like, you've always liked turnip greens. Nigga, my taste buds change.
And I can be selfless, but at the same time, not take responsibility for Ashante's happiness. Like it's a thin line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Between being selfless, but at the same time, no, I'm not going to be totally responsible to make you happy. Nor do I think it's healthy for you to expect for me to be the sole source of your happiness. Like that is not healthy. And I think like as you maneuver and you navigate through marriage, you understand that, and that will help you maintain, get back, reacquire your
some
happiness.
Newness, some freshness. Pop the top on the Pringles. You know, it's a fresh. It's a fresh time. You're gonna have to get to a fresh space, and I think the only way you get to these fresh spaces are having open, honest conversations. And women, you have to understand that what Julia said is that men have been taught that their money and their career and their penises is what make them men. And the minute you that you come in, not attack, but have anything negative to say about one of those 3 things, pride is going to rise.
Pride is going to.
And you have to understand that and nurture that part. Because at the end of the day, we want our marriage to last forever. We want great sex. Hey, this thing is off. Let's sit down and talk about why it's off. And let's work on how to be happy again in this area.
Yeah, man. So, you know, as you guys are
let's talk about sex, baby. Hey. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about
all the good things and the bad things that make me.
Okay. No, we can't because we got to go get our kids. So
I know. Listen, y'all, it is about that time. We got to go get our chillins.
Follow us on Instagram at
MMGA Podcast.
And then follow us on YouTube at
Make Marriage Great Again.
And then on all of the listening platforms for our people who don't want to watch us, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you wanted to listen to us, it's on all of the streaming platforms.
And Facebook, Make Marriage Great Again Podcast. So make sure you go there. Be quick, be there. Don't be square. We'll holler at y'all next time.
Peace.